Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mecha Model Kit review. Today we're taking a look at the SDCS GAOGAIGAR! So let's get right into it. First off, I'd like to say I did get this kit from Galactic Toys. Well, actually my mom got it for me as a gift, so thanks, Mom. But if you'd like to get one of these for yourself, check out their website with the link down in the description and use code YSG10 for 10% off. So here's what the SDCS GAOGAIGAR will look like all put together, just doing the 2-snip method with my god hands, and no real extra effort applied except for applying all of the stickers. And believe me, there are a handful, and some of them are less than great. But we'll take a look at that in a minute though. If you don't know what GaoGaiGar is, well, you're probably a filthy pleb with no taste for super robot anime. Actually, GaoGaiGar is probably the most mainstream of the Brave series, so who am I to talk? Anyways, long story short, after the G1 Transformer series kind of died out, Takara went to Sunrise and basically said,
Hey Sunrise, it's us, Takara. If you haven't noticed, Transformers Zone kind of died on its ass, and we have all these unreleased Transformers designed, and we need to do something with them. So we were thinking we could make a 59, 40 or so episode animated series with y'all, have y'all redesign the characters, and we'll make the toys. Yeah. Okay, thanks, bye.
And thus, the Brave series was born, giving us some amazing shows like Brave Police J. Decker and Brave X Kaiser. And of course, King of Braves GaoGaiGar, which is an incredible show, by the way. Seriously, watch it if you haven't. It's on YouTube. You have no excuse. The GaoGaiGar is a combiner mecha, and even in chibi form, this kit is a really faithful and awesome looking recreation of that design. We have the legs from the Drill Gao, the chest from GaiGar, which is a fusion of the cyborg pilot Gai and the mecha lion Galleon, the bullet train shoulders of Liner Gao, and of course this awesome looking backpack made up by Stealth Gao. Understandably, we don't get any of those combination elements in this kit. I mean, it is an SD. That would be a pretty impressive level of engineering in a little thing like this. I mean, I guess you can just technically separate the Stealth Gao in its entirety and just kind of, you know, but that doesn't really happen in the show when he's in GaoGaiGar mode anyway, at least not that I can remember, so I don't really think it counts. Whatever. And I mean, what can I say? I absolutely love this kit. It's not perfect though, but I mean, the fact that it looks so damn good by itself, and the fact that I'm also incredibly biased in favor of anything GaoGaiGar related that I can get my grubby little hands on, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of lets me overlook those flaws just a little. Now, when I first took a look at the box, I kind of felt a little twinge of pain seeing all these gold parts on here. Because as we all know, anything with gold parts that Bandai doesn't feel like electroplating, they usually just hit it with the butt-ugly injection gold that ends up looking like fucking mac and cheese. However, I was very happy to see that this kit instead features just a nice matte yellow color, which I think works very well. I think electroplated gold would have been a little too gaudy, and injection gold would just look fugly. So this is probably the best possible outcome. So this kit is classified as an SDCS kit, but what does that mean, especially compared to normal kits which are just called SDs? Well, in this case, the CS in SDCS stands for cross silhouette, meaning that we get the option to display this kit in one of two ways, either in the SD mode or in the SDCS mode. The difference being a slight change in the looks and proportions. I currently have it in cross silhouette mode just because I personally think it looks better, but if you want to convert it to SD mode, all you have to do is take the arms off, take out these middle joints in here for the elbows, and put the arms back on. Just make sure you do the same for the legs. So here he is in his SD mode. This is what it will look like if you choose to display him this way. I don't really care to have it displayed this way, but this is just for the sake of the review. As you can see, it is a much more chibi style look, although you do lose out on a lot of that size and the articulation that you get with the cross silhouette. We also get this alternate eyepiece for the SD mode, along with this alternate sticker for the eyepiece. The eyes are just a little bit more comical looking, which brings me to a point I wanted to make about the stickers. The plastic underneath is the exact same color as the eyes and the eye stickers, so why not just make the black a sticker that goes as a trim around the eyes instead of making it go over the raised eyepieces? Just let this little eye detail on here poke through. It would really look a lot better. Sometimes it feels like Bandai really does go the extra mile in the entirely wrong direction. Speaking of stickers, Now, we do get quite a handful here. Most of these are for the details on the Stealth Gao, actually. The red stripes on the wings and the Gutsy Geoid Guard logo, and this gray vent piece in here. These are all stickers. Thankfully, all this detail is separated by panel lines, so it would be a very easy paint job if you wanted to do it yourself. And that 3G logo there is raised detail underneath the sticker, so it would be very easy to paint as well. Not so much a fan of these wraparound ones on the end here. As you can see, this one is already starting to peel off. But hey, it's an SD kit, you know? They gotta do what they gotta do to get away with keeping the costs down. I get it. And I mean, at least those are the worst ones, right? No. If we take a look at Galleon's mouth, you can see the top two teeth are color separated and they look really good. But then we get down to the bottom teeth, and then you realize Bandai basically just said, fuck you, you're gonna wrap these stickers around these tiny parts, it's gonna look like shit, and you're gonna like it. Other than that, the rest of the stickers are fine, I guess. We have one for the gray inside of Galleon's mouth here, two on each side of the Drill Gao legs to create the rest of those black windows. There's a shiny silver foil sticker underneath the G-stone there, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but when it catches the light just right, it does look good. And there even is a tiny little G molded into that plastic. I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up, but trust me, it's there. These stickers right here on the liner Gao shoulders kind of confuse me though. I mean, there's already blue plastic underneath these, and the window detail is recessed, so I kind of wish we would have just gotten little black square stickers to place inside of there. I think it would have looked just that much better. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't snort enough nubs to be able to get inside the headspace of a Bandai engineering team member. Now, moving along, the build of this kit was pretty fun. I mean, it's a modern Bandai kit. You can't really go wrong. Their engineering really is top-notch compared to a lot of other companies that make model kits. This kit is really solid to pose around, and you can move it around with virtually no prop. Yeah, I have no fucking clue if this is just me or what. Am I going crazy? I mean, this piece does not stay in no matter what I do to it. I tried pushing it in every which way, and it just falls out at the slightest touch. So after this review, I'm definitely gonna have to glue this little piece of shit in there, but you know, for now, I'm just gonna put it off to the side because I don't want to lose it like I almost did while filming this. As for the seam lines we get with this kit, well, they're honestly not too bad. We do get a couple, namely one running down the arm here. There's one going down the back of this part of the Drill Gao legs here, but honestly, you're probably not going to see this when it's up on your shelf anyway, so who cares? Both shoulders of the liner Gao have a seam line running down the length of them, just like this. Despite just being two big parts that sandwich together, you can't really see a seam line on the Stealth Gao here, so I won't really count it. The main one you're probably going to notice the most is the one that goes on the head right here. It runs down the side here and comes up the front just right there. So as you can see, we do get a few, but honestly, not that bad, and it's an SD kit. It's pretty small. Chances are you won't see the seam lines at all once they're up on your shelf. But exactly how small is this kit? Size comparison. Here's the SDCS GAOGAIGAR compared to the Super Robot Chogokin Volfog, the Master Grade Gym Sniper 2, a terrible movie, and this empty vitamin water bottle. That's all I had on hand. Fucking, I don't care. Moving on to the accessories. The SDCS GAOGAIGAR comes with everything you could genuinely ask for from a pre-Goldion Hammer GaoGaiGar. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I hate you. First up, we get the Dividing Driver, which is a tool used by Gao Gai Gar in order to warp physical space to create battlefields without worry of human or infrastructure casualty. As you can see, it looks like a big screwdriver. Sadly, comparing the accessory to the art on the box, you can see the color separation is pretty bad. In fact, this whole part here should probably just be a shade of gray or straight up silver instead of white. Overall though, the sculpt does look pretty good and would look very good if you took the time to paint it up. And I mean, it is an accessory for an SD kit. There's not a whole lot we can do to rag on it here. The color separation for SDs is pretty rudimentary. If you want to equip the Dividing Driver, all you have to do is pop the hand out, take the Dividing Driver, which has a ball joint on the inside, and just slot it in just like that. It can go in either of the hands, but traditionally I believe it is used in the left hand, so that's the one I put it in. And it does look really good. Next up, we get an alternate hand part for the Protect Shade. This attaches to the arm in basically the same exact way. This is more of a peg than a ball joint though, so you don't really get a rotation at the wrist, but you do get a little turnaround there. Again, this looks very good. It's very accurate to the show. It's the attack that Gao Gai Gar uses, or rather the defensive move that he uses to protect himself from physical damage. Obviously, this is a left-hand piece. It can only be used with the left hand, and it wouldn't make sense for him to do Protect Shade with his right hand anyway, because that's not what happens in the show. It would have been really cool, and Bandai would have definitely gone above and beyond if they included this, to get some kind of effect part for the Protect Shade, kind of like how we see with the AT Fields with some Ava kits. Of course, it still still does look good on its own. That's just an idea I kind of wanted to throw out there. Lastly, we get 2 alternate hand pieces to recreate the signature Hell and Heaven attack. You know, the attack they use in like every single episode until they realize that, the Monster of the Week formula does get really stale very quickly. I guess they could also be used as just kind of expressive, relaxed open hands, but they're really hollow on both of the other sides, so that wouldn't necessarily look as good as just having the fists, I guess. Of course, we're just going to pop those in here, and then all you have to do is flip the arms up just like this, and then we're going to... What the hell? Hold on. Are you kidding me? The arms don't even have proper articulation to reach each other. You can't even clasp the hands. What was the point of including this if you can't even... What is this? What is this? Oh, I get it. Okay, so what you actually have to do is take the entire arm out, and these white parts can be a little tricky to take off, but they're not too bad. And then what you have to do is you actually have to go under here and flip out this secondary arm connector, just like that. Fold that in, and then the arm gets reassembled onto the outer peg, just like that. That's actually really smart. It gives us a wider range of articulation. It does look really goofy, but I promise you, it looks a lot better when it's actually in the pose. Once you get both arms repositioned, and I'm not even gonna lie, this looks fucking hilarious, we can go ahead and position the arms into the Hell and Heaven attack. Even with the extra range of motion, it does kind of take a little bit of finesse to get it there, but it is possible. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. And there we go. He is doing his Hell and Heaven attack. You can see those fingers actually do clasp together. You do have to make sure that his right thumb is always over the left one. Otherwise, it's not going to go together properly. But overall, I will say it does look pretty good. Oh, we also do get a little hole between the legs here to plug into an action base. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. It looks pretty dark in there, but we also do get the stand adapter, which can plug into the back. All you have to do is just take the Stealth Gao out, and I'm actually not sure how this is supposed to work because we actually have 2 holes here. If you plug it into this one, it doesn't really sit in there. The peg is just slightly too small for the hole. But if you put it into this one, it fits a lot better, but the back skirting here kind of blocks off access to this hole, so I'm not really sure what they were intending here. You're probably better off just using the one between his legs. And of course, lastly, we have the sticker sheet and the extra eyepiece, but we already talked about those. Get the fuck out of here. Now, I guess my only gripe with these accessories is I would have really liked to see the Hell and Heaven hands printed in a clear green and clear red to represent the defensive and offensive powers, just kind of like they did in the show. It would have just made it that much more cool. And I mean, they've done that for stuff like the God Gundam kit that came out like, what, 10 years ago? Overall though, I am really happy with what this kit comes with. You literally could not ask for more. Moving on to the articulation. Of course, I will be taking a look at the articulation in its SDCS form. That's where the most articulation is. If you display it in the SD mode, you're going to lose out on a lot of that articulation. We get a ball joint at the head, which can also move back and forth just a little bit. It can look side to side this far. These parts on the side of the head kind of block it from doing a full rotation though. It can look up that far and look down that far. Just be careful when handling the head because this top part of the helmet does like to come off a lot. Right here at the shoulders, we get a bit of a butterfly joint right there. Shoulders are on a ball joint. The liner Gao shoulders can move independently and they can go up that far. The bicep is on a hinge and can move out that far. We get a slight bend at the elbow. It can rotate all the way around at the elbow. Although to do this, you kind of have to have it bent. Otherwise, this joint in here will just make the lower arm spin instead. The lower arm can spin all the way around and the hands are on a ball joint. Galleon's mouth also can move, which is good because we can just close that mouth up and just forget about those stickers forever. The waist is on a ball joint and can spin around almost 360 degrees. Side skirting's on a ball joint. Front skirting can flip up. I have no idea where the fuck that just went, but the upper legs sit on a ball joint and there's actually a mechanism in here that can swing out and let you have a little bit more articulation in here. We get a slight knee bend right there. It can spin at the knee, and the feet are on ball joints. There's the foot all the way up and all the way down, and we do get a little bit of an ankle pivot. As for my final thoughts on this kit, I really do like it, which is kind of funny considering it's made up of the 2 things that I never really used to like, being SD kits and Super Robot anime. But now I can safely say I'm a big fan, both of the Super Robot genre and of this kit, and I think you will be too if you give it a chance. I can definitely recommend this to anyone anyone who likes simple builds, SD kits, or is just a GaoGaiGar fan and needs another piece of merch. The build, the aesthetics of this kit, and everything that it comes with are very satisfactory. I believe this kit retails for about $18 to $20, which I think is a fair price for everything that we get, all things considered. I was not disappointed by this at all, and I don't think you will be either. I really would like to see Bandai come out with a Goldie Marg SD with the Goldie on hammer, maybe even one that comes with an attachment that's compatible with this kit. And it would also really be cool to see a Star GaoGaiGar kit from Bandai as well. Of course, we do have, I believe it's called the D-Style Star GaoGaiGar from Kotobukiya. I'd actually have to check that one out. I'm pretty interested in picking that up, but for now, this is all I have. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you to my patrons as usual. Their names will be up on the screen right now. Also, something to mention about my Patreon. I do want to open up a P.O. box. I have had a lot of people ask me about that. I'm planning on opening up one once I, figure out how they work. I've never really looked into it before, but once we have a bit more support on the Patreon, we're off to a pretty good start. Thank you so much for all the support. I will be able to open one up. The thing is, they're just very expensive to keep open, and I don't have the money to be able to justify doing that right now, but eventually I would like to make that happen, and with your guys' support, we can definitely make that a reality. So that's it for today's video. I don't think I have anything else to say. This video actually ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be, so I won't drag it out any further. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I wish that I could turn back time.